I'm just minnig roedd un o machro mawn, dydwch bar y drach ag lewel, a ysdi un ag euro.
Evil, the face of evil.
Fe mae'r chymal bio van halfjaar in die baas, een gedeelte baas, genietje.
Gaan je misschien minnig al taat keer of in Brady?
I don't think he's mad. Bad? Yeah. Not mad.
To record a little girl pleading for her life.
Dan is mi a ha voor uiters staat, agus gyda staat kwanta sig ei, nach uitsin regartische varag hier.
Any further existence is pointless.
The psychopathic, schizoid sadist of the first water. Deeply detestable and highly intelligent.
Beashin siastro fein fiachgol sa fadiof, agus a kwanta dynja le ma dynja na slus nach feim ud the game, das yn hyl sa Hansen.
You kill them, you're as bad as them. It's not in your power and shouldn't be in anybody's power to take anybody's life. Otherwise, where do we end up?
Seo Hospital Ashworth, to the mwy Bala Liverpool, Hospital Choclastis a Hawn, Atis on Fidanich let droch in his intin, Dunje Haan a Gunnarsdrijf Pain, yet a Gunjele.
Haan Dunje for Glasjes station had une man in a glachke uid suid. Seisen Ian Brady, a lappenige gejitig aan de nukeertierk, 3-4 schia, son moest glonje, ga ierkel tussen gunniger diev aan de berichting. Hij is in de wistrie zo'n blionnig in een nest, zo'n kit krieg goed de wij heen, naar je hoekres issen. Ze gist geta, die ene kaurig in het begoude wie ik moest uit, ga uiltel die Ian Brady.
I'm not in the least interested in being kept breathing, merely to keep an ever-increasing, overmanned army of prison warders in lucrative employment. What my life now boils down to is this. I'm a cottage industry, a gold mine of overtime for prison warders, and that's all they're interested in. The questions I've put to my solicitor today: can an injunction be taken out to stop the medical interference now being imposed on me in an oblique attempt to make me resume eating? Or can a question be put in the House to similar effect? This morning I posted 7 lengthy letters. Sufficient evidence I am functioning perfectly, despite circumstances.
Het in dechgulai en daver nu dieg 3-4 koik as a voxophone show with Gaelic on the Nakin Fiscal Station Polish Hyde on the Manchester, whostek red most brood lechkin in Nigeria.
There was a discussion as to what happened in the house. I've got to say, a long discussion amongst others more senior than me as to whether this man Smith could be believed. At that, it was decided that, yeah, there must be some truth in his story. Whether he was involved or not was going to be a matter for the future, but we had to go to Walsbrook Avenue.
Waar Ian Brady zich hele Myra Hindley fuiach aan de Walsbrook Avenue, aan de Schamer Cattle hoe ze stuide, hoe in de Polish lorog het korp diekede, waar geil na de Franog, waar de geil le rope, agus het goed aan de bokke plastic.
Edward Evans, agus les een schach printiag, dat er varage, agus sanna sa sin a háisich gráin na tócal ceann na háisiad a denú ransa ví scrútú mai joine nácan ich sin and gráin nidal nóir sin a follis.
Bij Evans ferma jedig a lúst Ian Brady, veid cerir na bóige a varag runna seo, clown, ága, neochantach, idir tich is siapla na diaga gúis, in a chrá eolach. clown is yn dyga fepera. Gan eicnachig, gan mwst, sgan diologig ydy fawntiach. Mwstyn sgneffal na mwns. San hias assassin je hachait mwstyn na mwns. Sien fyrydech i'n Brady smair a hindli yn dietig sy'n gwyd gan ffdísan. Ach rwcig i'n Brady sio an y glasgw. Charafa haid posta na de valen wechke an y hospital Rottenro an y nŵtiag ys ochtje carichyd.
Iach, peke Stewart, dus je gille hokal a sio as de gorbels, skide voch an de glasgw. Gaelic granchor y cyta, agos beter gi yn badach o'r siachat. Hwg teolwch dys y ganner na slôn dy styie, agos o giatyn yn ddyn am hen ga.
Ba droch lws on barabach gys brwtiolach gael glasgw di lyn Brady. Ba na slôn sy ffwydioch fasgyd peke Stewart, ach fa clawnach geheen mar ha. Cha Brady go bwnsgol is sraad chamden. Fa fa het haas gaich gyn fo awn gwawn, agos cha insiga gyda diol yn yfan at y fe haas na falachog.
Mis mewn i gwn wrth dwyl y mach by yw'n sioc rai dyn nhw drygga. Agos nach rai sehtlig i glifan i craig yn y chwn hori a gli o gyda plesio dwi'n y lyga agos ti'n haris yn y cwrstyn.
But nevertheless, there's many people who have worse upbringings than did Brady, so we cannot allow that in any sense to be an excuse.
Nid yw ein slwn dwsant blyn y gwys hynny gysio Shawlands Academy, fe dyrac yr o diw llawnlyd ach yr o ws y bieg ys ysgol. Fe trich an y drypled, agos mae'r ha fe ffyrych go eicr, dochon agos brwtiolach, na iag ydy ga sien na pyfisa.
The sadistic personality disorder, as it's known, but that followed up by full-on psychopathy.
Chanir mŵr yn lorach ac yn ideology ag psychopathy idir. Hais ac yn gael cwrich yn awn, ac yn awn yn yw'n sy'n dy chael y doi. Mae'r ystrig son y tiolwys brystiad. Mae'r ystrig ha conduct disorder o'r mae'n chanasad yn y ddadyn ni o gadyn.
What makes him, particularly for somebody like me, interesting is that there's an element of what is known as the schizoid personality in him, and that makes for a particularly deadly and arrogant concoction.
Mys roslwn triplyn y diag y gwys, nys noch gaeth bialw cwrs dy noicri. Charael lyb gangs mae'r efator gilyn ac yn lawn, ach fe edig idig da hwrys y rhan plistig ystau y hen. Y ganyan sio, hwg na slwn sy chwlw taichga.
So she could is fails and Yaramaltiach, Nazis, and Scrohin Moshan. I is Gabe, who you're not believing my own Canavex selection.
How delightful are the pleasures of the imagination. How delightful are the pleasures of the imagination. In these delicate moments, the whole world is ours.
Leorichin Sorit, Leorichin Toin, agus Leorichin Victulich de Horgune in Huksche, na Levig. Ach, Hashin man Hultanjaki, Shin Leorichin a quarter and Leorichin a Schaltuin, Nurdan Ashin in Kretch, Nurdan Ashin in the Tukshin, agus Urnan hat a Prostogen in Nudanshin Kudja.
We devastate the world. The means to every crime is ours, and we employ them all. We multiply the horror 100-fold.
Brady, from what I've read of his writings and things, isn't just, as he's been told, to be of simply above average intelligence. It pains me to say this, he's very, very highly intelligent.
Actions are sometimes performed in a masterly and most cunning way.
Sharutelan Hanuriga Kuthinam Natiganella. Hanil Quadakin Semihaki, Daniela. Von Hanil Farakin Yaki and Koyus Hanurganya and Nanilla. So she matter of the ordinance Munster doesn't notion.
Well, the direction of these actions is deranged and dependent on various morbid impressions. It's like a dream.
With a terrific interest in sadistic books from the classic works of Marquis de Sade, right through to The Torture Chamber, and all these 5 or 6 texts were his stock in trade that he knew and read backwards.
Agus Marquis de Sade, Vashina Jalavagasan, Shosha Macvenach and Yavakisan, Mayin, vi Kudastagonis, vi Tilekilatoni, Agus Gurawan Hitchin, Ratatkar, vi Hosur, so good Gavi, the Tonia.
And that's a very unhealthy interest to have in someone who's barely a teenager.
Crime is to the passions what nervous fluid is to life. It sustains them. It supplies their strength. So long as the laws remain such as they are today. Implies satisfaction.
Het is wel raak aardig na kin aardig na rotilla ook zijn het. Zullen we zeggen ja rotta van heen of zijn.
Opinion forces us to do so. But in privacy and silence, let us compensate ourselves for that cruel chastity we are obliged to display in public.
Characin dief co ahaid natar Brady. Le bochgin chasige teulig dylevan, a charadief deravegan, grefuluk for vrutjalach njo trappestach gehorses bi.
Had Nuriga goed heen om nati, Ganedes, Farakin, Rutananele, Farakin. Agus Mushun, je gaan je over sem je kan moet sem hier nu, het Daniele. Het sem je hopen ze.
Luis na sloons go skide paadje volk nu je wat Brady me hier diek. Perlis duursen gen valle, le kruven is barach aatje foskeltje. We gaan jodig trichtje kushachat leggen zure, ek loch lomin. Aatje er op Brady I gadidio misal. We kunnen je wie valave goshach na aandag, mis na grúvins na bountain, agus égaint blianach yn mór a steuirlein as y ftísan, bwg ac yr lwy ydy fi mwy as yn dwych an y nolapa, y fi sŵr as y néir, gyn dynnu beo a chwydych drygad.
And he had the look of someone who had the mastery of all he surveyed in terms of this vista that laid before him, all of which would tap in perfectly with issues to do with power and sadistic and control and all of that. And it's my view, no accident, that the subsequent location of the moors would have provided him with a similar sense of personal exhilaration. I do what everybody else can only dream of doing.
Sa chwrt san y dres twrys gydyd mas rhaid siach bryn y dia gygwys fan nhw cathad yn ei ddialw. Fan y slowns miwnichte gyndrach y chwyd ffoglash ach fa ftickerst eleg na cwstyn. Fan y hwders yn y smynach gybygan a per ie na'n glwysig a pys mahaid falaf. Gehyntach chai a gwydioch conad I fach a natar y pegi agos y dwniwrechge, gaf a slonyg yn irsyn, Brady, lle Manchester y gachu yn esht.
Fiws o'n riach gael y ffydd ych antyn, agos chwma Sure sialw ac I hyn, mae'n alabanach gyma tiawn nid y fal na hyn. Sfag ein hyn, mae'n alabanach môr an Manchester fod sy roa.
Gwyd ydw ra gynnal nid a chai a hasyn efo corum na bartyn ac yd gnoeg yn y ienw. A ys a fi gachwmal hyn na babw o falwch. Cwdiwch corw chafag dwynach o eolwch a cha fysrach mae yw'n a di chai ronysyn hys an asasyn.
Agus yn lwrs yn halig a hice doi a haligin Myra Hindley.
Fa Myra Hindley och blyn y diag y gwys, chynnig at an y tri ffigyd sy hyn, y gwbyd ac I company Millwards Merchandising. Isio na rŵnydde, eisen na chlerg.
Ach syl mi hyn, greisio hannig hicesyn, nach drynes yn dad son iwri dyn sy'n mi hele.
Everybody else thought he was a moody git who wouldn't talk to them and this sort of thing, but she saw it very differently. She saw this as a mean, moody, magnificent, laconic figure.
Fa Hindley idir beog lochgach lys yn alapanach og idirgal.
Yn lwrs yn hachas rwyd hami aberstiach, hw ga eisiau stiach gan ddwyl ag gan ddwyl fa mae'r ein I llawn hyn.
Char o nŵn I ffada gys y dyhigad gyrraedd gymac holoch I chéile.
Stevie as y leorach I hyn agos hyn dy gynnyl gyrroi am y trawn gwlish. Char o un Brady coloch di gynch yn y ffyrile faidd cynnych am y gortyn. Siat dyn y clyfar efo sio.
Introduced her to negativity, which she lapped up because she too had a hitherto latent affinity with this sort of sadistic material.
Chanel a ceinich nid an y fferachyn ag y ffas yn I ffeis neu yn I ffyrachys nid hedd. So mae siwn lle hannar dolnys gychedd.
Hwg Brady yd Myra Hindley gol o saas as na gwrsechat yn y berlish hyn, fe hiad ffilmach hwn i'ch conlag The Trials of Nuremberg. Fe cwtioch y cortad eisiau fydd I brwtiolach an y suach ag ffisio.
And so he could then say something like the supreme pleasure is that of murder, and that rape is okay and is desirable, and that we can go places that others, with this incredible gift of the gab he has, and the command to be able to unfold it.
Agus gyma trig son sialtyn go ffyrach sa ha fra hw ffeisial, na go cwach sa ha fra hw ffeisial a dyn ni'n horsyn.
He never displayed any attachments to anything other than Hindley.
She gradually, well, not gradually, relatively quickly plummeted and found the nectars of negativity very much to her taste.
Fa eintint Brady láin stú a hwyd greimer na óge, Nazism, cruadol, eignachig, smach, cwach, mwst, cyn cocas.
Nid a psychopath, cwant y rwyd nach yr carst sydd o tran y dialaf chi asyn. Chanel dad dog ystadedd, chanel crap star gawn, chanel affairach yn car, chanel cocas iawn, chanel ciol ac i'n rwyd yna dyn i'r ffink yn y car, ys mwyswn chi had ddoladwyd dian o rwyd ha dialaf chi.
And from that, you can have my view for nothing. There is no way back.
Hás ich Brady a falla le Hindley et chwrst in y machas y falle. Ag y sio datio y berlo uniwch y siachat colach, montiach Saddleworth, atio imolach undranach. Bygat y tyn sio trich, y chosiach le si chw, y hwgal yilef, ag y gol fian. Ach fa over like Brady, son eolus y chwyded y fontiach uacnach sio.
You take it from me, that place up in the Pennines is like a wilderness. It's like a place in the middle of the Highlands where nobody goes but animals and deer. It's desolate.
Colloch va gunag Brady leis a big luscus for Dolomach and money and tragage leis na gunag in the Shan. As Mashan bad like here, all of the mat is staying around in the months because of money and colors calf out of the gold. As could you come a Christian calf out of the Palloch.
It's a mysterious place to say. You sit up there, it's eerie. The wind will whistle. There's no birds. You don't hear birds chirping. It's just the wind that whistles. And you look over. It's a peculiar place.
Martin en dris laat je ken jucher 3 Goon ben Thea, John Reed chun y polish, a jínsio nach ronín eich Pauline tilegachi fo gawnsa.
Ba Pauline Reed si ablin y diag y gŵs.
Van diolch Reed de fwyach an an gorten, y yn raad I piwer agos brad hele Myra Hindley. Ba Pauline yn dŵl cynnych ydi banach ar et son y golch go dawns y jive. Ach a dwyd y carreg cyd y gol y mach.
First and foremost, Brady didn't drive. Simple thing, but recognising the fact Brady did not drive a motor car. How do you get somebody up onto the moors to the desolate area there unless you got a driver?
Jaag Pauline yn dwy le heen, bu chastel go och fisker.
Agus hogad I an a van, agus hylafad le mach yn y monion, agus fa lysgol o fy sioch, mae yw'n mi dolo chant y son methig, fa Hindley, mae byr y chawl. A mae Christian groi y gael y stoile, dwi'n un a behynyn I gael mae byr wynde, agus y ffalol gwyd i fy morsan. Agus gwyw yn un foch, Lafad le mach yn y monion agus fyrra Brady yn henni.
If we are to have a serious discourse on murder and some of its perpetrators, we should firstly define our terms.
Yn dosioch fa dŵl gyrdoch gyro Pauline traum, nio, y rwyedd falaf le giles y sgidia. Bych 3 blynedd ffychadan mys bych ffysyd I nidyn.
I can state with some authority that, contrary to popular belief, much crime is tedious, repetitive hard work and an anti-climax.
Tron y blianich yn môr y ffaglash fa imydych irdys ag Brady, na lwyb leor eilchig as y lesgrwdig dynia ha mwst grwnd.
Gyr I fi sgrifig, agus a bhí clóbhúlaach a bhechcans go mar sin. Agus hanneala kitse nece.
Mo ná mo chuid as de fálinn bheit Ian Brady cóg brunna fiche a gúis. Ba Brady agus Hindley gláiste cála ganist na súil diafar doracha.
Céad mías yn ystod y ffolin yn oedden cawl, hachyd yn nôrwyd dy lenw picnic boige. He gyma ffyrwys dy cynnych y la chai John Kilbride y yi.
Wa sech na lenw as y diolch Kilbride, se John y behinni yw. Wa dy fwyach len barant yn small shaw lane and an Ashton underline.
Wa fysach y gleifa rhan naam di wa dŵlach gynianw a is chaiad for o market agus ha yrad y gilafach cwtiwch o gor sgaif le rwtigyn so gata gan y fanne.
If you talked to a child about anybody being bad, it was always the bad bogeyman. Always the man who was a bogeyman. Nobody ever warned children or females.
Agus galaf Hindley leis go yw as y fan mach gan manion. Agus len Brady at as a motor bicycle of
You're right. You're hungry, aren't you?
Famously, she said something about, I hate babies, I hate children, I hate people. This is all flows naturally from this sort of inexorable bond where you see rape and murder as the ultimate pleasure.
Har John y genw rafas ysgol, fe ffoed i'ch ygrymidiel, ach betylu se fi cent ystio i'ch chlawn y boig ys y diolch.
Agus velin si ca statages ca pwydych i gydys. Go i mwyn ag strain i sen, agus gylaf leis a gilaf a sen, agus o gasias go glawn am paro avin.
So when we see him raping boys, raping girls, we're seeing an act of humiliation, we're seeing an act of degradation, and we're seeing an act of powerlessness in terms of the victim, reducing them from human status down to that of mere animate meat.
Hier gaat asach de verhaal skiën, nog wat skiën til ik smul. Agus o gan orsan pys rob na strang veke agus se hachgil se senerinne a dioi e opor trappesach yn oed cwtiwch ronawn.
Centigrade 55 degrees Fahrenheit in southern England. And now here's a special announcement. At 1 o'clock tomorrow we hope to bring you a roundup of world opinion about the death of President Kennedy. This will be the first of several programs to be broadcast over the weekend. Details of these will be announced as they're arranged.
It was boys, girls, men, whatever. It comes as no surprise that the identity issue becomes limited importance because they become vehicles for this particular expression of power.
Chorotater in Brady nog eens een anaprach ma die we diano, agus anaprach ma die we nagule diano, agus we de flaneke mag ik ronaun. Mariana gas agus Mariana gas a yoi kutjuk diolch yn y garp.
Yeah. Get that down, you.
Iach John na dwy is on y drws me yedig na onrwch. Iach John na dwy is on y drws me yedig na onrwch byg yn ystio i fel da. Chai gan faraki yn dosiwch y gen o sgilin o gaga hyn y cwdiwch yn lwcwbrach.
Ta-ra.
A deliberate pattern in terms of diving ever more deeply. So you start off with one, and then when that loses its bloom as a recollection, you then have another one, and then another one. And you need to do two things. One, to hasten the pace of increasingly getting a fix on this, because it works for you at a power trip level.
Agus Has ni fi'n greu mwystad hedonistig, gan fein Torres, Torva Torpedias ul bevadian, sva militia, sva kalar, ys mwyswnti sy'n son sinnefagajan.
But secondly, and this is also important, you need variety, and here and again comes the intelligence angle. You need variety, and you need to push the boundaries ever further.
Syfdísan chanel Brady I fyna haf, hed imydach geren y hwgalys na hwdrysan, mwyn chas mochgi, agos ydyn nhw stri y leor ag eilsiachig, The Gates of Genus, an y nŵtiag, ceid fichet son nŵtiag, rönige gysgwdig ag giche.
I don't want it. Take it away.
He's so goddamn arrogant that he just thinks that he's above the rest of us. And hence, that's why he's very effective at strategy, because he sees other people as pawns in a game that he can play.
She Keith Bennett yn afhas de chaid chawl, agos as y nechtri uamfas a sioed fat, stoch yn a sio y dyniam y dyfel cynnig dynia, son öber gymadwrinioch.
Ba Keith daflwn y diag y gŵs, ac a bernach ag y fawr sy'n y liag o tyia hennafer son y nynche, ryn eich dynochge ba hir drug fyd y fawr, gwraen y speelchlen ag agal ag y dy, fa droch rör gygge.
Hwcad ei pasgyd ag achi, agos hwcad y mach gan y moni yna. Agos ryn Brady ryn ei ober trapastach yd, agos hach gan o'r sy'n as yn nhw'n toel ei pi streng, agos hiol ag eich ar.
Cold, calm, collected, vicious, horrible killings of children.
Agos chadwr y carpi gyda fach gos yn cwn y ladw.
I have been in captivity for 35 years. I shall remain in captivity until I am dead.
I'm quite sure that Brady could fill a lot of gaps in all the stories, because obviously as investigators, as police, you only know so much. I certainly would like to sit down with Mr. Brady again and have a chat to him, get some detail as to all the things that went on.
Hadech a gorpe Keith Bennett o lorog ddiaf, hed hiolygig y batic yn y sio yd montioch Saddleworth. Y ganyan gachur per yn y polish agos ma hadifalig, ha Brady y cwmal ymach nach wringa dyn y stiwdig chwn y lorog fer y hiolyg e Keith. Fel diolch na chwg, nio fel effiach yn nisio nörp my yedig i enw smach y chwmal yd y nolc ac y hed.
As y leor ag chanel Brady I tydyb dyn yn y heicer yn ag y hyn, ac at o'r bech gyd ach gyfwnsd as y nasyniach agos yd echtri mwsta yn illa. Chadiach eilsych yn bryd yn ytyd.
In the performance of the actual deed, the murderer is either preoccupied and constantly distracted by the danger of discovery, the fear of leaving some clue behind, or in certain instances, the psychological impact of confronting the enormity of the crime itself. Man's basic instinct is to derive as much pleasure as possible from life, whether by self-sacrifice or by sacrificing others.
Brady could use the machra naam die nog para drachagele shochleine tokal as an Glasgow. Min euro de naatje. Agus fius blianlich in moras a join dat ga je mach in money in leaves to the college as on fi han larag for a kus billen.
Van dultin nuchtje keithige te nug jult dat iche na all. Ach tea na coffee as in Spanje na suiker.
In je laatste je nodig aan de nuchtjeuk treffiche te kees, waar niet een week skiede ankert, het janu een route, zo wat clown het vijf naartoe janu, een klichtjes naar present nure, ach zo een lame jiddig wegen je pel.
Van Leslie en Downey, dich blian de guus.
Hopelijk het de maag, maar hij wacht. Is gaan wij knooitje naar wat ik gaan als dat niet de er tussen maar als hier het kutje was als je het een oorzaak hebt zien die is hoe gaat het gachi voor te voeden is weet je eiltel maar er net in een week waarschijnlijk.
I have dealt with a lot of bad people in my life, more than most. I've dealt with people who have thought were on the borderlines of being mentally ill. But I did never did I ever think for 1 minute that he was mentally ill.
Was je niet kunt grow fast na bewisse me gaan te groen op hoorige de tuin van Maraig. Agus ik gaan hou grow afjagen die maar nee jesse gehad het wat jaren zo jaren op moven zich. Agus krasjene wat het saas gegasen.
This man knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing was unlawful. He knew what he was doing was abhorrent. And that's one of the reasons for doing it, incidentally, in his eyes, abhorrent to the rest of society, disgusting to the rest of society, those stupid mere people that he would regard as a small being.
Waar predik je toch al jalaven in je camera, hij is dat de huid gehoorstje, hij ziet de kaal zoals.
Leslie Ann, there's only one word, tortured.
Je ik niet Brady in een week waarschijnlijk, hij is waar we morgen. Hij is geen waan in de reine, dat er tegen bij warrig.
I'm talking to you now about it. 40 odd years later, I can feel the hairs on the back of my neck start to stand up.
Bij de gelijk, ik gehoord kutjoch, spetige ma het eerste achter kutjoch, runnen zijn, is ik keer jaar al het verlaatste bij de kunnen kostjes kunnen huurhorst hij zet je onwasig.
We'll never know what they did to her, but we could hear the kid's voice begging and pleading, wanting her mother. And in the background is the little drummer boy being played continually.
Nid ych chai corp Edward Evans o lorog sy dau, chai Brady chwyd y greim, va tor fianish ilina oi. Hos ich roundsach in Montiach Saddleworth, va Bob Spears, policeman, y misg y skipper, y va Kindiach, cart y lorog at corp John Kilbride. Va yalaf va Brady y hwgal, te Hindley na Shisu y nwy.
They climbed right up the top, and when you look over the tops, you look over the reservoirs, and it's eerily quiet. Though the road down below can be busy, when you're up on the top of that moor, all you hear is the wind, and it is a funny feeling. I decided to come back down, and as I'm walking down the hill, what made me look in the direction, I don't know, but there was a depression in the peat, and this depression was full of water. And coming out of the water was what I thought was a withered piece of stick.
Get nach de hukes on Grush, waar Bob Spears is Corp, Leslie and Downey o lorog, waar de tiolekig le kut udig de tuv, waar beoichen in een gorp bevillig. Groen de polish cloog, agus lorog at Corpilla.
And John Kilbride was found. It was on the opposite side of the road from where I found Leslie Ann. But everything tied in. The bodies were there.
De waar had Leslie Ann na beter eesdichties diache lenienig gekeuid drabaz, vugig gehoorze.
Ann West, that lady was a very sick lady. And when I met her, the crime reporter had brought her to me. And she knew, as she told me, she says, I'm dying. I had so many illnesses, I am dying. But I wanted to meet you because you brought my daughter back. And as she says, young Bennett has never been returned to his family. They don't know where he is. She says, you brought my daughter back.
Chai Leslie Ann o lorog Saddleworth dich mias yn astio i golyd gi. Charosgial eith Paulin Reid y dda haast gyhoffigel eich hawl. Hwyr John Kilbride yn fi astiog astio i mwst. Fych cor eith ffychyd blion an haast mys atig eich Brady gynnech wyd asgaif.
Here are the facts. On the morning of the 30th September, I was sitting on my bed, writing legal notes, door wide open, when a crowd of warders rushed in, dressed in riot gear. My arms were wrenched violently up my back, fracturing a bone in my wrist, my head held down to the floor. I was then dragged into an empty room and stripped and searched. In reaction to the unprovoked attack, I stopped eating on the 30th of September, drinking only milkless, sugarless tea, coffee, and I'm still doing at present.
Fa Brady is sir a stan, agus fe geurig y byg ffiseg barach gynnu me yw'n y cwmys yn y fece son mwst. Ydy diawlau am dafer, nŵg diog triffigyd y cwg, chai amach o lorog nech og illa. Sio y dynu me yedig y fwrstige.
Har gen fech gyda'n an y dysynge fer a byg lwch ferys ffeisio gol like Station Raila a hachyd Brady di Edward Evans.
Os ni mwch y cydioch, gyro siosio dynnu rwa leim, gyro ad fast na befymu, agos na byste, agos ag y fwnsht ffayedig, stof glasonger het je kreeg heen malach sin va Jack Bliniuk agus kreeg kan vieren die ik me lessen gehoord het wordt wat Jan va na de Rheinische.
We're not certain as to where he was going. There was some suggestion he was maybe going to the football match or such like, but he did come home.
I don't know, when he was making on a dachajekje, I follow a school. Ach, could you hook at us? Hook at the lashes, keep it even and all, but a Brady, a tour.
Va praat hele Hindley as a dijk an naam, hoek Brady het kent at ze woesta gille. Sier at de in goedjige a kwanig a steulive.
And he misread that, and instead didn't think that he'd have the balls to go to the police or anything of that nature, and that was his undoing. Otherwise he wouldn't have dreamt of taking a risk like that, of allowing that man to walk in and see what was happening.
Va een fairly is we krish gullet in the polish, ga je heen te goop in een gullem lesmith, gullet as steu siar in se watting.
She preceded us into the house, in other words, she just turned and walked. And we found Brady, Ian Brady, was lying in the bed. He was lying in bed and he was in the process of writing a letter. And it transpired he was writing a letter to his employer to say that he'd injured his ankle that night before and that he wouldn't be into work that day.
Va een room hoos a stuidje let Doris glosje, en dosjoch va diesje kumalemach na chronjuchidach gedi live.
Brady finally turned round to Hindley and said, "You better give them the key."
Va Corp Evans de chan le rope, van diesje de bedoele hieletje gedi woontjoch a lash an heen.
Edward Evans was 17. He's still a kid. He's still a kid. Hindley was 17. But he was still a kid.
He said, "This is the messiest one yet." Now that was not a means of regret. It was expressing it that we've gone even further with this one. It's just made it a bit like this. It's more in terms of variety. It's more in terms of stimulus. It's more in terms of power. And of course that was the one which proved to be his undoing.
Charo Brady's Hindley kondag ach kees blione, weisen fiche te schech blinde guge. Dat je ga je goede gruim, gaat ook een poes a bied.
Die schalting, gekwachtig ze waar. Ergens, maar er was schalting dat er 4 meesten tuintje het rollen, pakken dus een koeien.
You'd have thought he'd been arrested for shoplifting.
Gaat Brady a jiedig in de diauw waai en geting, 3 fiche te schia. Son moest Leslie Ann Downey, John Kilbride, agus Edward Evans. Mias Ronishen, gaat kudas ga bean baz. An y ceithfig at y cwg, gaat Brady a chwarig mar psychopath.
Dear Mrs. Bennett, writing to you from Ashworth Hospital, where I am being kept alive against my will.
Ba Brady ac yn naam ook at soos gan y money yn son yn gwtioch mae bier son o lorog agus na yw'r sy'n Gaelic o'r lorog agus am ysmyn o'r Brady noch rhaid ydych rhaid i fe fian eich chwle cwn yn y gag achos na polish fe cwn yn y vegas of the eastern stig agus eichus glwch i mar agus rhaid carreg llesach gwrs chara wyth y bieg is gwtioch 4 goedje gaan doen.
Va Brady y cwmalamach di ma hallewalig geburinja a kutjechug, ach gronne húterasen a kurstatid. Gatanik fuosglug dief.
My offers to help these corrupt authorities have been repeatedly ignored. Repeatedly.
I cannot believe for a second, not for a scintilla of a second, that it was done for any sense of remorse whatsoever to help the mother or the father or the brother or the sister achieve closure by locating a body. I simply won't have that. It would be serving a purpose for him, and the most likely purpose is a sense of power, a sense of importance, and a sense of a long-term strategy.
I am being force-fed as a political prisoner.
Seach go deach riolach gorá Brady as ernise résan na de scuideagiche chai iontacha a bhíothach a nói hall. Chún Brady is trí a nói na riol seo a giorí básachach na de hucra gisan. Na de chai corp Pauline Reid de lorach an na céfigat a seach sé Myra Hindley hu gaif cutiachach. Vásich Hindley an na Davina sa hön. Chadurst Brady gudíof go hofigal.
Sam dydych mias na gan os dych hyn agus Hindley go cwrst chai codasg yn y chrochwch, mae'r ffennes y son mwrst.
I don't believe in capital punishment. Despite having dealt with these two and many, many others afterwards, I don't believe in capital punishment.
A chabarach gyda sien, chanil a chor a sien eke as a dŵig as a la a diwan. Chanil a chor eketyr gydasgyd a fe hyn. Agus gyharid chanil a cor na ultras ag riolwg, ag rioltas. Lig ar lecht gydasgyd a fe hyn na gydasgyd a fe.
You kill them, you're as bad as them. It's not in your power and shouldn't be in anybody's power to take anybody's life. Otherwise, where do we end up? He behaved like an animal, but he's a man, a human being.
Kerf gleor a dweud ag yn ymplys an agol chanel commander de ni o'n orsha. Ach chanel a chor ar sen ag Brady as a doich as a vela. Syle bys.
Shelog sé fakul fajeddig, agus halog kanten nach a kettig as in janu, agus vim sin kol, agus vim jesin kol sin.
Kutjoch ma haulik ale plisa nach a skriveg, a kursen morsan, a essen kulle mag, around conspetain, as hanel karam frekkert, ag systemitet.
But in his case, the reason is it would be not wanting to surrender to the inevitable tides, but like King Canute holding on, waiting for the sea not to come in. The inevitability of old age coming ever closer at an advancing exponential rate is going to be anathema to him because it compromises that omnipotence that we've described.
We know that for a certain because of the tape. What did they do to young John Kilbride? What did they do to Keith Bennett? What did they do to Pauline Reid?
An na 2009 húrt Polish Greater Manchester gyrraedd dol o sgwyd y hiwl ys an corp Keith Bennett.
Man's basic instinct is to derive as much pleasure as possible from life, whether this is by self-sacrifice or by sacrificing others.
Og Brady så was na corrigan weke, na corrigan is go you, og a trenchad na na heger na reine, a shapir heger na wonde, a schatur Brady na mewechse na heile.
Good and evil could be presented as a matter of what we think we can get away with. Most people think of themselves as law-abiding, God-fearing and decent, that is, until they're caught.
We should never stoop to his level, though. Make him stay there. Look after him. Give him as much food as you can. Make him live till he's 100.
What is it you think you deserve for the undetected crimes and secret outrages you have committed, whether in thought or action? Absolution.